Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you some pro tips and tricks in Death Stranding 2 on the beach that the game does not tell you. There's a lot of mechanics in this game, so we'll be breaking down some of the best ones here to make you a better porter. The first thing, if you got a heavy backpack here, you can actually make it a little bit easier to manage. So we're going to press up on the D-pad and up and over to the right to take off our backpack. You can just set it down on the ground there. And then next what we're going to do is we're going to go into our items here and equip the strand. So you can do this at any time. Press L2 and then right 2 and you can tie down your cargo. This is really beneficial because if you got a large load, it's not going to be sloshing around, and if you go into ceilings, it's going to keep your items all together. So this can be an extremely effective way to be able to keep things together, and you can also do it on your mobile carriers as well. So if you're using one of these, you can also tie up your gear here as well, just to make it a little bit easier to manage. Also, if you're moving short distances, you can ride your carrier as well, like a skateboard. So this can give you a little bit extra movement and mobility around. Sometimes it's nice to be able to have something like this for another option. So it's not the best option for movement, but it's one that you can go with as well if you're finding you need a little extra. But I would recommend actually grabbing and having the truck here, the off-road vehicle, as it's great. It's cooled, so if you have any missions that require you to do anything that's keeps the items cold, you can keep them in here. It's actually pretty good at moving around. You just have to be mindful anytime that you're going over any bumps. Sometimes it is a little bit tricky. You can actually damage the cargo if you drive into a rock a little bit too fast. So to mitigate that, you can also jump with this vehicle. So timing it correctly, you can actually avoid hitting a lot of these things. And always be keeping an eye on your battery levels, as running out of battery with something like this sucks. So keep a PCC in your backpack to be able to create one of these here to charge it, and always be on the lookout for level 2 ones, which will overcharge your battery by 30%. So I'd always recommend having a PCC there, and having the floating carrier as well is nice because this can allow you to carry some more heavy items, and it only weighs 1 pound itself. So sometimes whenever you need to carry some extra things for a mission, this can make it a little bit easier. I also like to keep at least an assault rifle on my body at all times, and some type of pistol as well, some lightweight weapons to be able to strap to your body as well. Things like the twin rods are nice, or even ghost blades. What's good about this is you can also deflect with this and block enemy attacks, making it a very useful tool. But you want to have a nice a range of different items. Having container repair spray is also a nice thing. You can find this oftentimes in different caches, so I'm always looking at them to clear them out. I always recommend having at least one set of boots extra in case you run out, but if you're managing your boots pretty frequently, you won't have to worry about that too much. Always have as max amount of blood bags as possible, just in case you get yourself into a fight, and you don't want to obviously not have those. So I like to have my handgun holster with a grenade pistol and a assault rifle on the side as well, especially if you can get a suppressed one here. Anytime that you go to a delivery terminal here, it's worth checking to share cargo with others. Now, you can find a lot of these. If you see that you're going to a location, like if you're going to go near the musician here, I'd recommend grabbing all the ones based on wherever you're traveling around. You can also do these as a side mission to be able to raise your porter grade with the specific area that you're taking these to. But just be mindful, you see, like, there's a lot of them here for this specific location, the animal shelter. So this would be a good one to go because you can actually take a lot of these and help out, as it'll give you more likes as well. Also look in here because sometimes you'll find good weapons. It's not always something you need to take, but I always recommend dropping off weapons here too, because it'll also give you some extra likes. So if you find that you don't need this machine pistol, you can always donate this to other players. So that'll give you a few different likes. You see there, 15 of them, which is not bad. So anytime you raid a enemy encampment, you can always just come here and be able to give away a bunch of items to get yourself some extra points. But another thing to look for is when you're looking through the shared locker, look for any extra materials. A lot of the times people will get too many of a specific material and donate the rest into here. So this can be a good way to be able to build up a resource of whatever you're looking for. Metal being the most in demand, so if you're able to find a lot of metal, you can help out your fellow porters that way. But yeah, I also recommend having a grenade pouch that's built up, but you can also donate these as well to the others. So it's nice to have a backlog of items to be able to donate to get yourself some likes. If you ever are exploring a campground and you find a bunch of different items, I recommend grabbing them just to give away to others. Another thing is the facility storage. If you go into here, you can also load up your own items into here. But on top of that, you can also go into the clean materials. Now, if you need a specific item like metal to be able to build roads, go and grab it from one of these here. But I would always recommend clearing out the chiral crystals here, because every 1,000 of these that you carry gives you an extra carry weight. So our carry capacity will go up by grabbing this here. It's worth grabbing because if you're able to get those and just have them on your body, it's nice to be able to give yourself that extra carry capacity. Another tip on top of sharing cargo with other porters is you can take on some extra bonus missions. And if you see one that requires you to deliver to a specific area, take that one on and grab all the items for that specific area and take them all together. It actually makes it a lot easier just to do multiple at a time. Another thing, if your vehicle is all roughed up, you can actually come up to it and press and hold circle here. If it's in your own area here, you can repair your vehicle. And I'd recommend checking this every time that you see it's a little bit dirty, because you don't want it to get damaged, as it's going to increase the amount of damage that your items are going to end up taking. Whenever you're in your base, I'd recommend checking out the table here, going ahead and drinking the drinks. I always recommend taking at least 2 of these. You can always skip the cutscenes if you've seen them multiple times, because these will increase your overall stamina. So if you find that you're off foot often, that's a nice thing to do. And you can also grab some cryptobiotes here to be able to give yourself a little extra hunger relief. So that's not a bad thing to do anytime that you're visiting here, and also any type of books to progress the stories there. Always speak to Dollman as well. Sometimes he'll hint towards things that you should be doing. Another thing is, in the options, there's an aim assist here. I'd actually recommend putting this to medium, as I found that to be the best. Strong just feels a little bit wrong, but with medium, you're able to give yourself a good amount of aim assist there. And also you can change some of the other abilities here. Like if you're going to soothe Lou, you can use the motion sensor to shake your controller, or use the left stick there. Now, I like to use assault rifles primarily. I found the spread for these is pretty useful, as it's going to be decent at long range, but also close range too. When you're going against an enemy here, you obviously want to aim for the head with all possible. You can knock their helmets off too with this, but the aim assist is pretty generous, I'll be honest. So the medium is a bit better than the strong there. So yeah, being able to get up close, if you're in close with an enemy, I would recommend actually just going with a melee attack. The combo is actually pretty devastating. You can take out enemies pretty easily using that. Another attack that works really well is the running jump kick here. So you can run towards an enemy, press X to jump up, and then press circle to be able to knee them in the face. And it works really well because it gives a pretty useful stun. It looks cool like that as well. You can also jump at an enemy there by sprinting towards and pressing the jump button, and then pressing the right bumper here, so the button you use to be able to use stealth. And if you just ragdoll yourself, kind of like Loki and Thor, it knocks the enemies down. Then you can get an easy kick in the face, take them out. And you can also take enemies out by doing the body slam here. So that's another effective way to do a funny takedown. This will also be further increased if you have a different exoskeleton on. Now, like the first game, the Bola gun is pretty useful. I'd recommend aiming for the headshots and charging it up there. If you get a body shot first, then you can go in for the head. You can line it up with that red line there to be able to take them down. It's pretty good if you're trying to be stealthy, as the gun is silent, but if you need to go in loud and proud, the grenade pistol is a solid weapon to go with, because you can see exactly where it's going to go, and if it's going to take out an enemy. It's very useful against a variety of different bosses, and I prefer it over just regular grenades themselves. Shotguns can also be pretty nice at close range, as most of the pelts will be able to take enemies out unless they're a heavier unit. It's pretty good, but I prefer usually the assault rifle, even in close ranges. One of the biggest tips I can recommend, though, is to just enjoy the game. Take it in, the beautiful graphics. I recommend it on performance mode, but if you got a PlayStation 5 Pro, even performance mode, I've heard on that is a little bit better. But this is an incredible game, great story, and it's a pretty fun game. So I highly recommend just sticking with it and finishing the game. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I hope you have an incredible day. We'll see y'all in the next one.